Now I'll explain our detail again. So go to our Python. File new. Now I want to create an employee class. Think that you are all employees. Every employee requires some employee ID, employee name, and I want to display that values. So go to file. It's a class emp, and class contains what? Variables and methods. So which variable like employee ID equal to 11, employee name equal to some string. I require some display function to display the values. Definition disp print I mean disp, disp. A class contains what? Data variables and a function is there. So are displaying the value. So we declare a class. How to create an object? Just write e1 equal to emp. Object is created. I want to print the values. To print the values, you can call e1.disp function. e1.disp. So if you want to call a method, we need to call through object only. A class contains a data, a class contains methods. Class contains data and methods only. To call any method, we have to create object.disp. If you run the program, it's going tag 0 option. So when you call any display function, any function, any method in our class, we require some self here. What do you mean by self here? The internal meaning of this even disp means it's calls like emp class dot disp passing with e1, like that's internal. The internal meaning of even dot disp means using class name dot disp method. For a disp method, I am passing what? Object. I am passing object. So while passing object, which object I am passing? The current object. The current, which is the current object? Even object. For that you call as a self. The current object ID and name you want to print. Print EID equal to EID, E name equal to E name. Like that I want to display. Now run. EID, E name. So here which EID? Self ID. So you are calling display method. So display method, that means the current object, what is our current object? Even. That even object you are passing to self. So that you have to specify self dot EID. Self dot EID. That you have to remember. Self dot EID. Run. Yes, I'm in run model. I'm in display. EID equal to E name equal to empty. Since when you create any object, Now even object contains what? It occupies memory to whom? To data. When even object is created, we are allocating memory to data. So even object contains EID, ename. What is EID now? 111, ename empty. What are the values existing in my data members I want to display? For that I am calling a display method. A display method passing a self.eid, self.ename, your specific. Here, if you want to create one more object, E2 equal to emp E2 dot. What will get the output? For example, I given 1, 2, 3. Here I given ABC. Okay. Now run. Same output will get. So first even object with initial values what? 111 ABC. Second object I create, I am in display EID 111, ename ABC. Same way. So we'll get EID, even object same values, E2 object also same values. Clear? That's it's an employee class creating EMP class with data members and method or call it a function. We have created two functions like this. Now I want to accept the value. Here it displays a display function. Now I want to accept the values. That values I need to pass to employee object. I want to accept the values. So go for EMP class EMP colon employee ID equal to 111, employee name equal to ABC. Now this class contains methods. So like definition ACP method. This ACP method is taking the value. Same display function displaying the value. Now first create object E1 equal to EMP. I want to assign a values. To assign a values, what I have to do? E1 dot ACP method. I want display E1 dot display. E1 dot ACP. Now ACP, for that ACP I am passing the values like 786. So these two values I am passing to whom? To ACP method. So ACP method takes that value like I comma S. Now that value should assign to whom? Every object, even object contains how many data members? 2. What? EID, ename. To that object you are passing EID equal to I and ename equal to S. What's the point? I'll come. It throws error, then I'll get it. One should practice like that. Okay. So you are calling ACP method. So ACP method passing two values. These two values goes to ACP method and I and S are the parameters, and this I and values should be assigned to whom? To our data variables. To our data variables you are entering the values. This value should receive by I and S and should be assigned to whom? To our data members. Which data members? EID, ename. Which EID, ename? The current E1 object. The current E1 object means what you write? Self. That also self. And you have to pass here self also here. So internally the meaning of this line is what? EMP dot ACP dot I am passing the E1 object. I am passing E1 object and 786 comma Raj. For that only Even is what? It is an object, a self object. For that self object EID, for that self object ename, you are assigning I and S. Clear? So I am calling display method also. Display method also self. I am displaying the values. Even dot disp, I am to display the values. So print EID equal to what I need to write? Whenever you want to display value, write self dot EID. Print ename equal to self dot ename. That's it. I am printing the values. EID ename, EID ename. Now what happened? I am creating even object. I am creating even object, passing ACP values. I am passing 786 Raju to ACP method. I am displaying the values. Now run it. It's passing the values. Now run. If you run, EID 786 Raj. Since you are passing these values only now, 786 Raj. You create one more object. E2 equal to EMP. Next, E2.ACP. I am passing value 1, 2, 3, Anand, and E2.disp. I am creating employee object. A employee object contains what? Data. What data variables? Employee ID, employee name. It won't occupy memory for the methods. It won't occupy memory for the methods. Every object contains only data. Methods are only to process your data. Methods are only to process, means assigning a values, printing the values. For that purpose only we use methods. Methods are used what are accepted values, how to display the values, that only purpose we do it. So you accepted the values, it's an employee 2. Now run, you'll get this value. 91. I want to create one more object where you can accept the value E3 equal to EMP, and you can accept I equal to input, enter value for employee ID. It's like integer type, so you write int of integer type. Right. Next, S equal to str equal to string, input, enter value for employee name. I'll pass these values to a method. So where I can pass E3.ACP, what I can pass? I comma str E3.disp. Clear? So done. Run model. Okay. Asking the value. So first two objects, E1 object 786, E2 object 1 2 3. Enter value for employee ID. Passing 1 2 6 4 3 2. Name. Kiran EID 133. E2 allocates to memory. I am an employee. For me, separate memory for employee ID. For me, separate employee name. No, for me, a separate memory is allocated relating to EID name and employee. Two memory blocks for employee ID, one more memory block for employee name, and one more object you create. When you create separate object, E2 object also contains employee ID, employee name separate. E3 object separate ID and name. We are not allocating memory to the methods. We are allocating memory to only for data. We are allocating memory to only for data members. E1 object contains two memory blocks, EID, ename, and E2 also contains a separate memory for EID, ename. So again 1, 2, 3 another it stores and it's like this. So for every object a separate memory is allocated to data members. Here. So you creating two functions, ACP and display function. You are displaying that values.
Don't accept the values, sir.
Hmm.
Same EID and ename will call for multiple times.
Hmm.
Then same memory.
Creating two functions, ACP, disp, and here definition ACP, definition disp. In passing parameters, we can pass the parameters like this. No, the problem here, what is happening here? To accept the values, what I'm doing? To accept the values, I'm calling which method here?
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
ACP. Is it no? For displaying the values, disp. For accepting the values, ACP. So if 10 objects are there, 10 times I need to call ACP method. I should not call ACP. I need to assign the values directly. While creating memory, at that time only I want to assign the values. So here I am calling how many times? 3 times ACP. Now I don't want call ACP methods. I want call, when you call E1 new EMP, I should assign the values directly. At the time, that's called constructor. The constructor invokes at the time of memory. While creating object, a constructor calls automatic. It invokes automatically. No need to call any ACP method like this. So you can do that. So now we don't require ACP method. That is, this program is without constructors. Now we'll write the using constructors. Using constructors. Using constructor. Now write a class. Class EMP class, employee ID 111, employee name Raj. To display the values, I am calling display method. How to write display method? Definition, disp method name. I want to display the value, so write self print employee ID equal to EID, print employee name equal to name. Done. Then you write a constructor. A constructor looks like this: def double underscore init double underscore, again what values are passing, self I comma s, and you pass self id, self employee id equal to I, self ename equal to s. This is a constructor. Init is called constructor. We call it as a constructor. Keyword constructor. Initialize object. During object creation. Now what I need to create object E1 equal to EMP. Don't write, listen carefully. can write program any number of times. Huh? Now here EMP. So here EMP I am passing the parameters here. I'll pass the parameters 4, 5, 6 and all. Automatically it calls this constructor. Parameter constructor is there, no? That calls parameter constructor. Now I call event.disp. Earlier what I have written program event.acp, you are calling. Now you don't need to call ACP method. Now you don't need to call ACP method. Directly it calls a constructor, and this EMP constructor means it calls init. It calls init constructor, and whatever values 4, 5, 6 honors are passing to I and S. I am assigning I to EID, S to ename. I am assigning I to EID and S to ename. I want to display the values. I can display E2 equal to EMP 999 Raju. So E2 dot display. I am displaying. Is it correct? Now run the program. So here, while displaying the value, should write self dot EID self dot EID. Now run. EID displays the value. So we are not calling any ACP. Without any ACP methods, no need to call ACP method explicitly. Clear? That's one. The constructors to initialize objects calling ACP methods. But here calling ACP methods. Now here zero parameter constructor, parameter constructor is there. Parameter, zero parameter. So parameter, if you won't give any values, directly can assign. So here if you are passing parameters, without parameters, just write EMP. It calls zero parameter constructor. EMP. You write init pass self. It's a zero parameter constructors. If you pass the values, that's a parameter constructor. You are passing self I comma s. You enter values, that value is passed 4, 5, 6 and display that. That's all parameter constructor. Here. Next. Well, init is there. There is a call is there and there is a delete is there. What is the difference between init, call and delete? Like init is a standard. So init method is fired when class is initialized only first time. Only first time it calls. Init method fires when only for the first time. Next time if you assign a new value, init will not fire. At the time we'll call a call method will fire. Init method only works only first time. Call next time when you assign a new value. When I assign a new value, it calls it. For example, init next double underscore call same double underscore delete. What happening here? Class you return some definition init. How double underscore init print constructor constructor definition call. Once create an object e1 equal to emp. Here it calls what? Constructor. First time it calls constructor. When you say again e1, it calls a call. Or that it calls call method. When you're redefining your object, when you're redefining the object, it calls e1. When run, huh? Class, run model, that's where that's self, yeah, not run. I mean, first time it calls constructor, next time it's calling call method. When you are redefining the values, init works only first time. Next time onwards it calls call method.
You create one new object also and it is called.
Again you call again one more object e2 equal to emp. Again you call e2. At the time what? Run. Constructor how many times? Two times only. Here even three times only. So call works only the next time. That's. I want pass some value. Pass the value. Then at the time you can assign some values for that. It's init. Pass some. You take some object. You are assigning a value a equal to 10. Variable name. In my class employee ID equal to 1. I am passing init comma a where self dot employee ID equal to a. I am displaying the value employee ID equal to self dot employee. Now see, first time emp, when you call emp I am passing some triple two. So first time when you say emp triple two, it calls what? Constructor. It calls constructor. Triple two passes to init. Which variable? A variable. I am assigning a value to where data member, our self dot employee ID. So employee ID contains what? What employee ID contains now? Triple two. See, you pass now E1, 456, 999. Huh? Sure. So E1 456. Now if you display now, E1 dot call to run the program. No employee object here. So first time here it calls which one? Constructor. First time it calls constructor. When you change the values, at that it calls call. It calls a call method. It calls a call method displays. Takes an argument.
Call the self values.
We are not displaying the value. The call, we need to specify the call method here. We are not passing the value. Passing a self dot employee equal to a. None. So what happening? Constructor calls first time. So I'm in constructor emp122. I'm calling in constructor. When you change e1.456, it calling which one? Call. Automatically it calls the call method. Predefined functionality. You are passing 4, 5, 5, 6. Now self.eid. That means which 4, 5, 6 this one you are assigned to which object? E1. When you say 4, 5, 6, the 4, 5, 6 value goes to A. The self means which self? E1. E1 dot EID means it takes a 4. So for that only self dot EID I am getting EID now 456. Next time 999. So call method is working. I am in call. So when you change, when you want to redefine any object, at the time you require call. At the time otherwise not necessary. Same definition underscore del. I am in del. Now see when this delete works. First time constructor, when you are reassigning the value, run model, delete, we need to call the delete method explicitly. When you assign the new value, no, at the time it calls this delete. When you are assigning a new value, the call method is there. Call method self dot a, you are getting the self a. So when you are assigning temp 45, at the time what happening? It calls a delete and assign the new value.
It deletes the previous value.
Previous value at the time delete will fire. It fires the delete at the time. Displaying. Displaying. Check it. Using the delete. Next scene. Init. Next one, delete. Some other programs like there is an init, add twice. When you go for a equal temp, you are passing some 4 value. That 4 value I am assigning to where? A string data member. A string I am taken, it's an what? Bracket means what? List. To a list I am assigning some value. I am taking a list variable, to a list variable I am assigning a value. Again when you add the value, data dot append means I can add some other value. Again add twice, a method is there. So where I am passing 2 times, self dot add like this. Do that. We can make that variable can be an integer type or a string type or it can be list type. Can be variable. Here we are using variables, no? Employee ID integer, employee name string type. Like that, this data can be any data type, a list type also. When you take list type, I have taken a list type here, self dot date. I am assigning a value first time. Init works within a init works within a brackets. When you say add, that's an add is a method. Self dot data dot append, what value you are passing, that's you are appending at the end. Adding one more twice you are adding. So now here add twice, these are all methods. They are printing that value is what is existing at that time. Just what class emp you are taking as employee id equal to list type. In definition, underscore init underscore self comma I, self comma bid equal to, but it's in a list type, no? A list type, how we have to assign the values? Append. You should go for append. Self dot append of I. EID is what? List type. List type values means one by one value. If you want to assign, you go for append method. Same definition. I'm adding some method add self I, right, same self dot right, you write here. Now call method e1 equal to employee. At the time it calls what? E1 equal new employee means object is created with what data member? EID. Next, E1 dot add of 4. Then print E1. What's E1 object contains? E1 object contains list type. What value it contains? 4 value it contains. Okay. If you want one more method like definition, add t self comma I, you are appending the value 2 times. You are appending the values 2 times. Self 2 times you can define.
So circular AD data set.
EID is a data member. Run that. E1 dot add t of 5. Print E1. I'm printing. Run.
Class of AD data set. Set dot AD system.
Okay. Not passing. So I'm creating EMP object. At the time, first time it comes what? To self dot emp. It's in what you are giving. Run. For printing the values. Self I append
Even dot AD. In the script.
even dot EID. Even dot EID. Run. First time employee object. When you say E1 equal to employee, it calls what? Constructor. Constructor what I'm doing? Just an empty. Employee ID is an employee ID is an empty. Next, E1 dot add. I'm calling add method. In the add method, whatever 4 you're passing now, that 4 value I'm appending. EID is now it's acting as a what? EID is acting as a list type. EID is what? It is a list variable. where you can add the values by through what? Append. Through append only you can pass the values. Next same add t. I can add one more value. 2 times I'm adding the values. Let's say 5 it's append. Add t. Add t is a method where I'm appending 2 times the same 5 value. So e1.eid means I'm displaying the eid.id, e1.eid, e1.eid I'm displaying this. So like that, so you can, these variables can be a integer type or maybe a string type or list type, anything. But while using list type, use appends. You can use append statements.
Dictionary also created.
Hmm? Hmm. Now next dictionary. Adding data member can be list type. See, this is a dictionary type. Next is a dictionary type. How you can assign the values. I'm passing the value. So dictionary type. I'm creating a dictionary type values. So I'm creating a temp object, a temporary class in it. Pass the fields to self.dix. Self dot in the object dict is a dictionary object. Dictionary variable is created. Dictionary variable. I'm assigning the fields. I'm printing that values. You're passing the value here. You can take a dictionary type also here. You take some dictionary type. X equal to, see the dictionary here. We are passing two values here. emp definition init self comma star fld self dot dictionary equal to flds. Automatically values are created here. Now see e1 equal to emp passing x equal to 2.45, y equal to 35. I'm passing. So when it's calling x equal to 44, y equal to 35, it calls a constructor. It calls a constructor. Which constructor? Init. There's an init constructor, and here, and when you say self and star fields, automatic internally the fields assigns the value with dictionary value. Print e1 dot dic. It creates a dictionary automatically. X equal to, like that it prints it. Let's see, run the program. Run. ds. Run model. It's a dictionary format, it's saved. Your value has been stored in the dictionary format. Earlier it is in a square bracket. Square bracket is nothing but list. Flared bracket is in a dictionary, like storing as a dictionary type.
What is that star?
It maintains like multiple fields. Field of 0, field of 1, like that.
Infinite.
Any number of fields you can pass here. Any number of fields, receiving can be only one field. Any number of fields, see you are passing two fields, or any it can be multiple fields are storing in where? FLDS. And you are assigning that in a dictionary format. Easy way of writing programming here. Less declaration parts, less declaration variables, nothing. So you don't require to receive that multiple variable names with a single.
It's used only in dictionary access.
Dictionary, it stores in the dictionary format.
After we can use in other places.
Other variables also. But here we assign the values to whom? Dictionary. We assign that FLDS variable, assigning to where? To self.dic. When you say self dot, it creates a dictionary. Or X value, Y value, Z value. It's storing as a X, it's storing all dictionary format. Clear? This all on constructors and the types, how init works, all that. Now we'll go for inheritance. What is inheritance? What do you mean by inheritance? Extending or modifying existing class features is called inheritance. When you want to modify or edit the functionality, go for inheritance. So I have written one class, the same methods should be used in the child class. Same methods should be used in the child class. Then go for inheritance. How to implement inheritance? Okay. So write class, parent class. A parent class contains method, parent method, print, parent method. This is a class. A parent class contains one method, parent method. And if a class want to use that method, if a child class want to use that method, so declare class chd brackets pr, like that you write it. Is it? Like in Java or C++, I have write class chd extends pr, like that you write, no? Same like that. In Java or C++, you write like this. The same concept you write here, the brackets you write like this. chd parent. You write definition, cm child method, print I am in cm. Now child class contains how many methods now? Two methods, pm method, cm method. Now create object for child class, c equal to chd. Now c dot pm and c dot cm. Parent method, child method I can call it. Now child has how many methods? Only one method, but it has been inherited from parent. It has been inherited from parent. Run. Run model. Run. Run model. I'm in PM, I'm in CM. Okay. Now child class contains how many methods? chd c object of type chd containing two methods. Which methods? PM from parent and CM from chd. Got it? Now run. Next. So parent class inheritance now. It's called extending in a class. Now, here I can call child class can access the parent class also. Child class can access the parent. See, I'm writing the parent init constructor, set data, I'm displaying. So in parent class I'm setting the value, child class I'm displaying the value. How to initialize the values? Parent methods can use in child part. Now parent, it's a class. So a class here. Every class contains what? Data members or methods. So I'm writing a method, a PM, a self, and int and in PM. And in the parent class I'm writing constructor. I'm writing in constructor here. I'm writing constructor, setting some values equal to 10, b equal to 20. It's a constructor. Okay, now I'm writing one more method like definition set data. I'm taking value I self I comma s, employee ID equal to I, employee name equal to s. So now parent class contains how many methods? One constructor, one set data method. Parent class contains two data members, employee ID, init constructor and set data. I'll create one more class, child. How to use the parent methods? Like PR. And the parent members all comes to child part. In the child part, I'm displaying the values. I'm displaying the values. Print employee ID equal to EID self dot employee ID, employee name equal to self dot employee name. So two classes are there. So parent class contains how many methods? Two methods. Init constructor. It's a constructor. And same set data method. I'm display method in child part. Now when you create an object, C equal to CHD. Now C contains how many methods? C is which type? C is CHD type. CHD class type contains set data method and display methods. Is it? Can you call it or not? You can check it. C dot set data pass 456 Anand and C dot disp. Is it? Check it out. Set it. I'm setting the data. Set data 456 Anand I'm passing. 456 Anand I'm passing. And C dot disp. Set data what? Self dot. Self means what? The current object EMID, current object ename like that. Self dot run. So you are saying what? So that method C.chd. CHD contains, we are written only one method, display method. But you are getting what? Set data, constructor and display method. Everything comes to where? In the child part. CHD is a CHD class types containing set data and methods like this. Clear? Next, I can write some again constructed second set like that. Multiple methods can be written. Add multiple methods and constructors init parent constructor can go to child constructor. And you can pass multiple values. So while passing 37, 30, 43, 25, see the child a constructor I have written where you can call the parent constructor can be called. Constructor in the parent I given 3 values and child I given 2 values. Some other values you can pass it. You can get the values here. Utilize. So that means parent init method is a child init method. While calling child, in the child 3 values are passing. 1, 2, 3. 3 values are passing. But the parent has only 2 values. At the time what happened? For the parent init method you call two parameters to parent, remaining parameters I can use child part like that. Next. Multi-level inheritance. Multi-level. Till now what you have done is single level. Multi-level from parent 1, child 1 like that. So if you write it, it's a multi-level. Parent, child 1, child 2. So child 1, child 2. I'm extending parent, again extend child 1 like this. While creating child, last extension. I'm calling a parent class PR and definition parent method. I'm writing the parent method. Okay, print I'm in PM. Same I can write child part. How I can write child? Class chd1 of parent. Definition cm1m print I'm in child1. Same I can write one more class chd2 child2. Now I'm creating object for child2. So child2 contains how many methods now? C equal to chd2. You write here chd1. So parent method is coming to child part. Now child 1 contains how many methods? C1m parent method. Same. Child 2. Now going to child 2, it is inheriting from where? Child 1. Now c.ch2. Now C contains how many methods? 3 methods. Parent method, C1m, C2m. You can check it whether I can call that methods or not. C.em, C.cm1, cmm, C.c2m. Okay. This inheritance is called multi-level. Multiple levels. Run. Run. So last third class I am calling parent method, child 1, child 2 like that you are calling. That's called multi-level. All you can access. Child can access parent members also. Next, inheritance. What is multiple inheritance? Huh? What is multiple inheritance? Last, multiple, single, we have single, multi-level, multiple inheritance. What does it mean? Now here, child 2 is having how many parents? Here child 1 also one. Now a class having two parents, more than one parent, such levels are called multi, multiple parents. If you have multiple parents is called multiple inheritance. It is allowed in Python. Java is not allowed. Java like this. How we can write this? Multiple inheritance. Huh? So write class parent definition PM self PM is done. Next class one more child. Parent has three childs are there. Class C1 from parent definition C1M is a method M. C2 parent C2, that is C1 class. Same we have C2 class. C2 class also is a child part. There is a method M. C3 class. So that means parent PR class contains how many childs? Huh? 1, 2, 3. C1, C2, C3. C1 is a child. C2 child. C3 child. All are child for three parent. 3 C1 comma C2 comma C3. 3 child. Done. Next. I am creating one more class. Class CHD from parent C1, C2, C3. I am writing the class CHD parent. So now CHD is a class extracting from where? Parent C1, C2 and C3. CM. Amen. Now write child C equal to CHD. Now C can access how many methods? Huh? C1, C2, CM. C is a child of what? From parent or see, observe carefully. Parent is a class. All these three classes are children for whom? Parent. Parent has three children. Sir. Now I created child. Now child is having multiple parents. Child is having multiple parents. Having multiple parents. Is it? That's called multiple inheritance. Now when you write child c dot cm c dot pm, can call c dot m. Alright. Options. Right. Parent mi, parent 1, parent 2. We write m21. When we write mi object dot m1, see, now we have two parents are there. Now mi is a class, two parents are there. When you call m1, so parent 1 calls m1, parent 2 also contains m1, both having m1 methods. So when you create a class, having two parents, and when you say mi object m1 means which method I need call, parent 1 or parent 2? See, mi is a class which is having two parents, parent 1, parent 2. When you say m object dot m1, which m1 object takes parent 1 or parent 2? It takes from left to right. Since two methods are available now, parent method is there, parent 1 also is there, parent 2 also same method. So it calls from left to right. Whichever first method comes, it takes that one. Whichever first method comes, it takes first. So for that only m1, I am in m1 of parent 1 method. Then I am in m2 method of m1 of mi inheritance. So multiple inheritance means if we are calling multiple parents, and parent 1 also m1 method, parent 2 also contains m1 method. While calling m1, which m1 method it calls means parent 1 of m1. Parent 1 of m1, like that it calls us. Clear? So please practice this. So first we discuss employee class as a data members and display method. So employee ID, employee name. So create an employee class. I'm calling display method. So multiple objects, E1 object, E2 object you created. Next, creating two functions, accept ACP method, display method. So if you want to assign a values, I'm creating what? ACP method. You are passing the values to ACP. I'm displaying display method. So what is the problem here? To initialize objects, what you are doing? You are calling ACP method every time. To initialize objects, need to call ACP method every time. You are calling ACP method. For that, what you have done? Initial object calling ACP method every time. Instead of that, what you can call? Constructor. Using constructor, no need to call ACP method explicitly. Zero parameter constructor. See, when you call EMP, it calls init constructor. Init constructor pass self. So self EID, self ename. So displaying the value. E2, this is zero parameter constructor. EMP, zero parameter constructor. Parameter constructor. So EMP class. So init with a zero parameters, or it's zero parameter, this one, this is a parameter I and S. So I'm passing 4, 5, 6 on. I'm calling. So that's a parameter constructor. So init versus call, delete, like that. So init works first time only. Call when it works, when you are assigning the new value, it calls a call method. When you are assigning a new value, it calls a call. It's a call, I mean call method like this.
First del and then call.
Just del, when you are assigning, when you call delete, when said, so when you are assigning a value temp 45 means automatically it calls delete and then you are assigning the value. So it's assigning the value, I'm deleting that value. Data member can be list type also. You are assigning the value, it can be list type. Data members can be list type. So we can assign, you can add 4 value. Same again, even that add 4 means it calls add method. You are assigning the 4 value to append. You are appending a 4 value to list. Again 5 value 2 times you are assigning list type. It can be dictionary type also. The dictionary type. Next, inheritance. Extending or modifying existing class features is called inheritance. It's a class, parent class is there and child class is there. You written like child, parent. So parent methods are coming to child part. Okay, now, say class contains init and set data and display that. So in the child we are coming disp. So while creating object for child, I can access child method as well as a parent method also. Add and mul. So you can add some. See, when you select a plus xyz plus means you are calling this add method automatically. When you click plus means it calls add method. When you click into, it calls mul. Some advanced concepts. That's I've given. So when you call plus a plus xyz means the plus it calls internally which method? Add. When you call star, it calls mul method automatically. Like that you are written. And if constructors, if parent constructors are there, same parent constructor can use in child also, can use in child part. Multi-level inheritance, parent, child 1, child 2. So when you create object for child 2, I can call its parent, I can call its above parent also can be called. Multiple inheritance. If a class having multiple parents, class having 2 parents, parent 1, parent 2. So it calls which parent first? First parent. Left to right, it calls a parent 1. Like that you can do it. Done. These basic OOP concepts are sufficient when you go for what is a class, object, what is a constructor, how to call some methods like that. The remaining will go for other concepts. Tomorrow we'll see GUI, how we can use graphical user interfaces in Python. Checkboxes, list box, like that I want to create. You just remember the OOPS concepts. Once you go through the recording class, you can understand this one. Then you'll go for GUI functionalities, then files functionality. Every day one new concept we'll discuss. Thank you. Any doubts? Any doubts? Clear? Any doubts?